All right, welcome. It's Thursday evening, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and we are live again as we do every Thursday night with John McCaig, the founder of Liberty Aid Academy. I am co-hosting tonight's business setup in a trust. So I thought that was a good one because I've seen some questions in the classroom, and of course, I'm doing business in a trust, and I know other people want to do business in a trust. So we tackle that one and then get on with opening the floor to all your questions. And I think I'm going to publish the link if people want to join in and join us and ask their questions live or give a testimonial, whatever if they feel up for it. We'll of course accept their invitation. John, how are you tonight, and how's everything going down there in the world headquarters for Liberty Aid Liberty Aid Academy?
Great. Tim Judge in the house up here up in the Northeast and holding it down up there in the cold. Thank you. Thanks for sending all that cold down here. You took it back, most of it, thankfully. Whoa. I was like, what was going on down here? What is that? It was in the 40s. It was like 43. That's like, it doesn't sound bad, but I mean, that's like the record cold we get here. Somewhat-ish. It never gets in the 30s, basically.
I don't want that because then it's going to spike the orange juice prices,
Yeah, right. That's so funny. Now things are good here, must be cold up north because they're back. I mean, like all the people are like, and they come back to the empty houses down here and they're chilling.
I tell you, it was 2 days ago we turned the heat on here in the house. Before that, it was put a sweater on and all that kind of stuff, and we finally it cracked. It was flirting with the low 40s, so I said, all right, well, we'll turn the heat on.
Yeah, I had all the heat, all this. I had everything that you could do happening then, and I got jealousy windows here with screens. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and one of them's like, like kind of open. Like there are a couple things. So I'm just saying, it's not quite. We're not quite winterized down here, but no, it's fine. I mean, I feel for you all up there is what I'm saying. I don't feel
it's not too bad right now, but I make sure they all have their jobs to do, to put your storm windows down and do. I'm not turning on the heat when windows are open, like you said. But I have one child that loves to, even in the winter, open the window. I'm like, you're out of your mind. It was like we're not going to heat the neighborhood.
Yeah. No, you got to batten down the hatch. You got to check every little thing, or it's going to be freezing.
Or you're just pumping we use oil, pumping that heat out the window. That's.
Well, I'm glad you warmed the hearts of your tribe, and I'm sure they're very happy too. So that's wonderful. You can sit around the campfire now and tell stories. Like kind of dark. Well, we'll still tell the stories. No, I'm kidding. No, it's good. I'm glad everyone's warm.
People are piling in. Frank's here and Andy's here. Says happening, everyone. What's happening? Aloha. Raina, I did registration, title, and car insurance on the name of the trust. Why in the classroom it says registration to be in the name of the person? Oh, right off the bat.
That's a great question. Raina is doing great work, isn't she? She does the work, and then she gets something done, and then she's in here and she's doing the next thing, and it's so good. And she has all, kind of very good basic questions, meaning once you understand the basics, the principles, and you get it, I love her questions. Okay, so let's go down to basics, right? Always just back to the basics. First trust you open, first name, last name, trust. Great. You have ID. Hey. And then what's the ID of the person, right? The corporation with the all capital letter name and the 9-digit numbers, right? And remember, the strategy with this trust is everything goes in the trust, and your person, right? The corporate person, the artificial person gets nothing. No bank account, no revenue, no income, no nothing taxable, nothing that can get a judgment and be taken. So your judgment proof, nothing's at risk, you see? And then that person, the artificial person, turns into a vacuum cleaner, getting all the free stuff you can get, and there's a lot of it, and we got a lot of courses. So that's just the overview. for the people listening.
I have one little quick clarification or a little bit of news on this one. Trump is touting some stimulus checks, right? But
Nice.
caveat is that you have to be a taxpayer. So now if we're getting out of this, how are we going to get back into that loop if our fictitious person has not paid any taxes in the land?
Well, that would only the corporate person is a taxpayer if it owes taxes. So what does that mean? You know what I mean? You pay tax. That person has paid taxes at some point, and it is a taxpayer. The people aren't. It's a tax-paying entity. So what does that even mean? Because it's not a stimulus check if it's against taxes. It's just, another, hey, we're going to save you some taxes, which isn't a stimulus check. A stimulus check is just money straight out. Okay, who's paying taxes? Okay, because it's not tax paider. You know what I mean? It's not who paid in the past, it's taxpayer. What corporate entity can pay? And so they mean the person. They don't mean like, hey, we're giving LLCs money. They probably don't mean that. They have meant that in the past. EIDL, PPP, right? They have meant that. But usually we're going to bring stimulus checks to the people means, straight up check to the person, which is the taxpayer. So that's what that lingo has meant in the past with stimulus checks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, the ones with, we're getting $300 or something, those were tax refund. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those were a stimulus check. So if you talk about that kind of stuff, first of all, it was like no money, basically. You know what I mean? A couple $100 does nothing.
Yeah.
And so we weren't talking big money. So, it's just something for the news. Either way, that kind of stuff never really did anything for anyone.
Yeah.
A couple $100 here or there. So
I'm sure when it comes to fruition, we can do a show on that to make sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll watch the lingo, though. But that's general big lingo. We haven't gotten specific. He's using the big all-in lingo could mean anything on purpose.
Right.
So let me finish up this question with Raina, because we were talking overview, trust, person, how to separate it, separate risk, and turn the person into something useful. Yay. The person's judgment proof. So the person takes all risk. Now, it doesn't have anything, you see? You got a judgment against a corporate entity that has nothing, so nothing can happen. Yay. So now that's the overall principle, Raina. And so now we're into specific instance. Oh, what about, why put the registration in the name of the person? Because, okay, the asset itself, a vehicle, motorhome, boat, trailer, things that have a title is what we're talking about. Generally, I'll enlarge to that. So, because they have registration title, some of them. So, the registration being in the name. Let me go back to the title. The title itself, the asset, a car. You want that it can be in. This is kind of a little gray area because you could go either way. You can put, as you've done, you can put the title in a trust. Fantastic. Yay. Good job. You adhered perfectly to the spiritual principles. Congratulations. Sometimes the cars don't have that much value. And so we're really trying to protect a value of an asset so it can't be taken. How much is a car? My car ain't worth that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about it. I'm just being real. Yes, you should put it in a trust. Great. That's the title we're talking about. So now the assets in the name of the title, a trust doesn't do anything. A car doesn't do anything by itself, right? It just sits there it's own. So when you're talking about, what potential difficulties could this car, get involved with. It's like, oh, risk out there, running into somebody, getting in an accident, blah, blah, blah. That's what you're concerned with. People are generally concerned with that on your mind. Of course, you sign with God, so it's not an issue. But, but generally, now somebody's got to operate it. That's the registration. You see, oh, I'm going to drive it. Oh, that's who's culpable. That's who's taking the risk. That's who's, it's going to go down to is who's on the registration. If they're using it right, you got insurance, it's going to be in the registration. It's not going to be the name of the title. It's going to be the name of the registration. That's who's using it. You see? So most people, oh, hey, I have my car in my name, so your insurance, like your registration is in your name already. So your insurance relates to the registration. So you already have insurance, right? That matches the registration. Great. What I'm saying is your insurance doesn't change because the registration stays in the name of the person. So no change. The title, preserving and protecting the asset, the car, the title is in the name of a trust. Okay. So that's why you separate them like that, because you want the risk to go to the person which has nothing, right? You don't want any risk to the trust, right? You don't want any risk to the trust. So even, okay, oh man, I got a 240Z first year mint condition. Okay, that has some value. You notice I don't have one of those. I got Ferrari, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got one of those, great. But it's okay to think about person Title II just because it doesn't have any value, but it is an asset adhering to the spiritual principles perfectly. Put it as you've done in the name of a trust, great. But minor thing, minor cost, no big deal. You did it. You got your paperwork right. But insurance stays the same. Registration stays the same. Nothing really changes for you, or anyone. So this isn't a lot of money we're talking about or anything like that. And those are the reasons. Good question, Raina. You're always into the details. We get the devil out of our life by looking into the details.
Frank's agreeing there and put in title to the trust registered in the person for insurance reasons.
Insurance and risk reasons.
Right.
Insurance reasons relate to risk. You're right about the insurance, Frank. Exactly.
Back to the weather. In Europe, no AC. We like all the windows open. Originally from Bulgaria. Yeah, I do like fresh air, but I don't want to heat the fresh air.
Right. Right. Oh, I should say this. I have 2 lizards that live in my bedroom. I'm in Florida.
Sure.
And they live in the shade. What are those? Window shade. And I open it or close it, and they're like, "Hey," they're on the slats, and they're just going like this.
Yeah.
Or hi. Like, "Oh, hey." That's funny. I got a crew on my window down here in Florida, and they're inside, on the curtain and that stuff because it's like cold. So they're inside now. Usually they're with jealousy area. Like, we can come and go as we want. Your windows are great for us. We leak a little air. We do heat the outside here a bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I digress a lot. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Joseph's here. Always excited for Thursday's class. Yes. So am I.
No, I love your work, Joseph, and I love your testimonials, and I love your lifestyle and all that. It's so great having you on. Thanks for coming, man.
Jay is saying the stimulus checks get paid even if you have no income. Ask me how I know. And so I'll ask you how do you know? And here's the link to join the show. Come and tell us. Join us in here. He says, Tim, the past stimulus checks were refundable tax credits.
Right. I found that a lot of people did get them that were using the trust. I heard the same. Mm-hmm. The IRS don't like me, my person particularly, from how many things I've filed that were erroneous as I was learning back over the years and tried every piece of paper and every 1099 A, B, C, X, B, Y, Z, all the nonsense. I tried it before I did a show about it, for a long time. Like, okay, we're getting to the bottom of things. Never did. And they just have a red mark against, like, your person doesn't get anything. Like, I don't. I heard other people with trust get it, but they're like, dude, no. Like, that's I get that sometimes just from, hey, be right. Like, they've sent me, letters about, you owe us this frivolous filing. I'm like, yeah, well, my person don't have anything. So see ya.
Andy's question: can the fee of $350 to the Secretary of State, can it be a cashier's check or a money order instead of written from the checking account of the trust? I think that's what
He's talking about registration at the Florida Secretary of State, I think, which it says make check payable to. So a money order, you make it payable to. It's like a check. You write in who is to. So you can use a money order. I think you could use a cashier's check because, again, it says, I know the form you're asking about. It says make checks payable to. So again, a cashier's check has a blank. Where it says make checks payable to, you put in those words there, and absolutely, I think Andy F. Yes to both of those things. Yes.
Excellent. I think that's Zircon. Zircon in the house.
Zircon in the house. Good to have you.
Welcome.
Hey, don't crack the dome with your zircon. The zircons are that sharp. Don't crack the dome, though. Flood in here. No, I'm sorry. I had to pull out a zircon joke. That wasn't easy. Let me tell you, that's the first time I ever tried a zircon joke. That was good to have you. Probably everybody tries a zircon. You have the coolest name in the universe. Everybody's like, make a joke about it. That name's way too cool. Nobody should have that name. What? I want a car named Zircon. Like, what? I'm driving a Zircon. Yeah, what? None of that Mercedes nonsense.
Tommy's in the house. He says, I have a business with a nice size SBA loan secured to my business partner's personal residence.
Oh.
Does your community have any success with the debt program and SBA loans?
Oh boy, that's not good. That's rough. Let's just, I'm going to go back to talking about some principles and basics, Tommy, because if I can show you the principles, then you can apply them yourself out there. So again, the name of this program is Business Setup and Trust. So just, I can say it in like less than a minute. You open up a bank account with your first name, last name, trust, and you change out how you get paid, your payment gateway, Zelle, PayPal, Shopify, what have you, to the trust too. And that's the entire change, all of it, that needs to happen really for business. And it's a back end thing, and that's it. Change bank account, payment gateway. You don't owe the IRS a document or any taxes to the IRS. So you're done with federal taxes. So that's the method and how simple it is to not pay the IRS anymore for any business. So understanding that, you don't use, oh, well, you mean I use an LLC with, no. Business people ask all these complicating questions. No. Bank account, payment gateway, and that's it. Oh, you get paid by check. Just bank account. That's it. So it's an extremely quick fix to change over to using a trust for any business. So let's say, oh, my business. Okay, you're using an LLC, let's just say. You would use a trust instead, use that bank account instead, make an agreement that you currently have with your partners happen with a trust instead. Hey, let's do things the same way. Let's just use the trust instead. Okay, great. So you would use that trust, and that would cut down on taxes, if you're making any money or anything like that, and reporting, like, that's all gone from your business situation. So if you think overall what to think of you would want to be doing, Tommy, to solve most of your business problems with this trust. That's the general thing. Okay. So with that overview, everyone, we're on the same page now. Like I had a trust that got a EIDL loan from SBA, and they wrote some paperwork about, hey, this trust, we think it owes us some money, could you start paying on that loan? And unfortunately, my trust is in a disaster area down here in Florida and went out of business and has no bank account or assets or anything like that to pay the SBA back. So it never got a penny and never will. And I never hear from the SBA again. Maybe because obviously every financial transaction is tied back to the person, and they know my person was, they know who I am. They know. So whether my anything in the future that's linked to my person gets any SBA anything, I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. That's the main risk, I think, usually for everyone that does not have a secure, a loan secured to an asset like this case. Like that EIDL, not secured by an asset in any way. It was unsecured. I was like, oh, give me the money. And it went out of business. Thanks for the money. Bye. So that's when I said, hey, everybody go on, let's get this one unsecured. Now, so Tommy's got like the worst case scenario, right? He's got Uncle Sam, hey, you owe us largest military, give us some money. So reorganizing, as I said, into a trust, you could quit paying, but then they come after the asset, you see. So they've got you. That's bad. That's like having a mortgage or something. That's really bad. I would, if I was in this particular predicament, we got to talk numbers and stuff like that, but you could start operating your business with a trust, you know what I mean? And then you reap the benefits of that, lower taxes and all that stuff with your partners. Wouldn't necessarily say, hey, let's not pay on the loan. Oh, his houses or their house is at risk. We're going to pay on the loan. You could still do that. You could still, let's operate from the trust now, but let's keep paying back, that loan. We all agreed to that and stuff. But you take advantage of the tax savings and the other savings, like for your person and all the other hacks we have, by getting out of using this taxable entity and stuff like that. All you'd have on it would be the SBA loan. You see what I'm saying? You could separate running your business and all that stuff from, just by opening up, like I said, you open up a bank account and, your partners agree, hey, we're going to do it this way on paper the same way. Trust is very flexible. Make your agreement, no problem. You can be 3 trustees. Hey, great. But however you have it now, it can be like that. Just a different entity, no change, nothing like that. Just different bank account. So once you do that, okay, everything, all the things related to the business, the website, or whatever you do, I don't know, all goes over to the trust, ownership, deeds, titles, payment gateway, bank account, everything goes over to the trust. So the only thing left at risk is this, loan and residence. So I would do that. In other words, learn from the mistake. Hey, but it's not a mistake. You made the best decision based on the information you had. So you're smart that way. Now you have other information about this. So you could, not make the same mistake by having them all together in the future. Oh, hey, we have this loan with this LLC, so we're going to keep operating the LLC. No. Separate it out. Okay, we're going to keep paying on that, but okay, don't pay IRS taxes and all the rest of the problems that go with that. No. At least do that. That would be a massive savings and paperwork, not having I don't even, if you got a tax workaround, I don't care. You still got to file for it and all that work would cut out that, but it will also cut out the risk. You see what I'm saying? So then you can look into, depending on how much money we're talking about, like building up credit and then maybe using unsecured credit to pay off that. And then, if you don't want to pay back the unsecured, well, somebody takes a credit hit. Okay, maybe that, you know what I mean? It's a lot better than someone losing their house. So that's the feedback I have on a really good question, Tommy. There isn't a straight up solution like that, but distrust kind of makes them back off wanting to come at you in any way, shape, or form. They won't come after things that they can't get. But this is one thing they don't like, this trust. They don't like it work so well. And if they think they could get something, they might make it a problem. So those are the workarounds. Thank you for that question. Really good, well thought out question, Tommy. Thank you.
Raina's back and says, my daughter went to the DMV for driver's license, and the lady said the registration and title and insurance needs to be in the same name. That's why I did it all in the trust so she can use my car. Dad's car is expired.
Understood, and that's fine. That's fine. Maybe they do things differently in Hawaii. I've never heard of that ever. This is the first time, and I've had other, clients in Hawaii, students in Hawaii. So I haven't heard this before. Maybe it was an error. That's fine, because like I said, cars just don't have that much value. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It's more important that the registration, not go back to a trust that you're operating. You know what I'm saying? But I know Raina is actually 100% with the spiritual side of this, actually. So in your case, actually, it doesn't matter at all, because accidents are hoax and God runs everything and nothing's going to happen. So it's actually a non-issue, completely 100% in your case. So for that reason, but we've talked about it. It's not a huge risk of any kind, shape, or form, especially in your case. But a good question. I think we got the details there. If you have anything else, ready to ask.
Yep. Jay says, I'll get a camera and speaker thing up running for next week.
Oh,
this is Charlie's computer and sort of in disrepair. No worries. Sounds good. We'll wait on you.
It's good. Is it a CRT tube? That would be so cool. I'll picture you back there, like, 1984. Stick it in the tube. Okay, here we go. No, Jay, it's good to have you. I'm glad you made it, man.
Zircon's asking, would it be okay for my very responsible 22-year-old grandson to open a trust and then put one or more of my houses in it? Wow, one or more.
Okay. This is a great question. Thank you.
I like this one.
I do too. I do too. This is actually really where the rubber meets the road. So thank you for this one. Tim could really answer this too. Oh my God. Tim could do a whole show on this, I bet. I mean, really. Maybe Tim should answer this.
No, I want to hear your
Okay. No, it's good. Honestly, the best thing that can ever happen with this trust is multi-generations get the knowledge, start to use it. It's, oh my God, it's so helpful financially. The weight comes off everybody. It's like, wait, what? It's wonderful. So one individual in a family has to start, right? Oh, hey, an adult, they open it. Mother, father, someone, right? And then the child, oh, hey, how'd you do that? Whatever. Oh, cool. Hey, let's do it, So at 18, they can participate. Now you're like, oh, 22, cool. These are skills. These are not, what do they call them? Oh my God. Instinct. Sorry. Mm-hmm. This is not instinctual stuff, a trust, how to use it. You have to teach someone. It's not complex, by the way, but you have to teach them how to use it. Oh, okay. So they have to first you open first name, last name trust. Hey, this worked. I got it open at 2 banks like the directions say. Great. Oh my God, it works. I closed my personal accounts. Everything's cool. Yay. One individual, look, it works. Everything's cool. Fantastic. You'd be that one Zircon. Okay. Hey, everything worked. Great. Next, then you would want your very responsible grandson to have his first and last name trust open. Oh, I did it here. This worked at this bank. Hey, this is my grandson. Da, da, da. Okay. Now he's got his first and last name trust open. He's running his life that way. Fantastic. Okay. So it's not just that he's very responsible. Now he's knowledgeable. He's had the experience, right? He's doing this himself. So it's not just responsible, it's responsible. Now he knows how to do it and experience. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want someone, you're setting someone up for defeat, and you're not trying to do that if they don't have the knowledge by experience. So you would work with him. Okay, it's open. That's how I do it. And then at some point, you can, yes, he could be on a trust with a house in it, but so can you at the same time. It's not an exclusion thing. You can, this is the best way to transfer real estate is to put the older generation as trustee and also at the same time the younger generation you're trying to pass it on to as trustee at the same time, not successor trustee, both trustees, but very responsible, like you say, and like I say, experience too. Now, let's say Zircon, you could die, which you can't with this trust because you sorry, with Jesus Christ, eternal life is real. But let's say, for this hypothetical, because the question is asked, the older generation could die. What would happen if a trust owns a piece of real estate and now there's one less trustee? Nothing would happen. So there'd be a single trustee, the very responsible 22-year-old, now older, right? Because they're kind of still, but single trustee. So nothing happens. There's no, oh, hey, someone dies, so now we got to do da 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 with the, no, nothing happened. You see, right. Someone died, one less trustee, nothing else happens. Okay, the trust still owns it. It's still going on. The house is still owned by the trust. You just have only your grandson as trustee. So nothing happened. No taxes, no government involvement, no probate, nothing happened, So such a great question because this is the right way to do it. I just described. They become knowledgeable. They're doing it. You're like, hey, he knows what's up. He's very responsible. Everybody's on the same page. Piece of cake. Solves the whole thing. Keeps the government out for generations. You know what I'm saying? It's so simple to do too. So what a great question. I have multi generations of students doing my work and stuff like that, and definitely some in the family and stuff like that. But I'm saying Tim has a crew doing this. So, he's working on the hacks and everything too. Is why I say he could go on about this himself.
Well, the one thing that I'll add in on that one was that also keep the the Medicaid clawbacks and all that other kind of stuff out of your pocket, right? So if Zircon needed to go into extended care of some kind, then they go, oh, where's your assets? We're gonna charge you $1,000 a month to live here, and we're gonna take everything you have. Because
and that totally brings up to my mind. Sorry to interrupt you, Tim.
Yeah,
Roxy Wright. You should anyone go look at her testimonials. Roxy RX, go $6 million, X open heart surgeries. She paid not a dime. Goes home and she's healthy and fine. Actually, she's also wonderful. Has millions at risk. Does land reclamation of for the federal government of landfills, my God, giant projects with their family business and all this stuff. like everything at risk, but nothing was a risk,
Yep.
and she paid zero. So that's an extreme case, what you're bringing up. But exactly these kind of things, no one's going to come in your pocket and take anything, nothing like that,
Right.
because the person is actually the thing that it was in, not you. It wasn't you. People run businesses, but we're not businesses. So don't be so tied to that thing with your name on it because it's not you. Give it
Right.
nothing, put it in the trust. You beat them completely, Zircon. Okay. In fact, use your first and last name. Just put trust after it. Yes. You see what I'm saying? I go with the program as a piece of cake. Here's your ID. You go in, open the account. You're like, okay, see, it's so easy.
Now, I have a couple other clarifications or questions for you based on this.
Yeah.
If he's got a couple of properties, how many, if it's just him, we'll leave the grandson out of this for a moment. How many of those can be, now he would have to put these into a Christian name trust to then start the process of claiming it as a parsonage. How many
Real estate
parsonages
tax exemption for
for
real
the
estate.
right for the real estate tax exemption? How
Yeah.
many parsonages can one trust have? One.
Well, here's the thing. One body needs one parsonage. You can't be
Right.
let's just talk about real estate tax exemption because you're a Christian. That's what we're talking
Mhm.
about. And it has been successful. This trust has been successful. Acts 5 in the Bible, you have to give everything to God, or you're not Christian and you actually die and you don't have eternal life. Uh so you have to give everything, guys. It's a requirement. What was I had something else pop into my head. What were you
The
saying?
parsonage and
Sorry,
multiple
sorry.
properties.
Yeah, my bad, my bad. Uh, so you're saying this real estate tax exemption is not for a church, right? No one's coming to, we're not giving a service or nothing like that. But as a Christian, you're required to give everything to God. You're required not to have a home. You're required to give that to God and put it in a trust as a Christian. So you're a Christian. You give everything to God. It's not yours. It's God's land. This is religious land now as a Christian. Okay, being how we trust as that they worship we the devil, and so all that land, right? They don't pay taxes. All the other churches, they don't pay taxes. So this is a requirement of this religion to be Christian. You can't own anything or you die. Period. It's in the Bible. So uh it's for an individual, right? It's not,
Mhm.
you don't have a church, you don't have, so it's just, I'm an individual. I need a roof over my head. So this is a parsonage. Maybe you could make a case. Oh, okay. Well, we got two people. Okay. This is my Florida home. This is my that home. The main thing is it's not used for other purposes. That's the main thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Not used for rental, not used for someone that's not a Christian. I am in this building and I'm in this one. Okay, then that fits. You know what I mean? So that's the real estate tax exemption part. Can't be used for rental property, because that's not a parsonage. A parsonage
Right.
means where someone lives who's a Christian minister or retired Christian minister. And we have the paperwork to make that happen. You go through the course and everything like that. We have that information, and it relates to real estate, and Tim's in real estate. So,
Mhm.
we're just talking over the real estate stuff as your real estate question, just so you're more fully informed. The more information you have, the better decision you can make. Also, Zircon, if you become a student here and stuff like that, right? We have a classroom, okay? Our own private forum. All the topics are in there 24/7, right? You can go in there and answer a question. Uh, Student support is in there. Myself, I'm in there as moderator, and it's indexed. All the topics of courses are in there. That's how they're in there. And it has a search engine. You can see what's been asked in the past and all this stuff. So when you get in and you have like this is a real question, oh, this is real estate, meaningful money and all that stuff. Oh, this is my grandson. These are things that matter. So as you go through these, you can go in the, it's part of being a student here. You go in a classroom. Oh, hey, remember me? I was asked that question. Go into more detail and we'll get it exactly right. Okay. So it's not mainly you get the courses, you get the information, but you get me throughout the process in that way in the forum and everyone else here too. So
Pamela Poe in the house says greetings.
this lady, man, thank you, Pamela. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it.
Where did that come?
What was that? It was someone else I missed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, he was
I got stuck on Pam.
Yeah. Here it is. Bruno says he needs to arrange with you for a consultation.
Oh yeah, that would be good, but I don't do that anymore. I'm it. I'm the one. I'm about to turn 65. I've been doing this 15 years with proof. I got over 100 testimonials. I do 2 shows a week, no break, no nothing for all them years, nothing. So consultations have stopped. I got proof of 15 years my stuff works and everybody else's doesn't. So you don't have to be concerned about that anymore. And everyone thinks their case is so unique and specific. Honestly, this trust simplifies everything in everyone's life so simply. The things are just not complex at all. They really aren't. And I mean, we're just talking about a bank account and putting money into it, or you have stocks or whatever. It's okay. Put it in a new Schwab account in the trust. Oh, real estate, it goes in a trust. Like all this stuff is, it's not complex, you know. So whatever your question is, I bet it's been asked, and if it hasn't, it has. Even if it hasn't been asked in writing, I have answered your question. Whoever asked the question, I've answered it. I've been doing this long. I have answered every question for sure, but most questions I've answered 100 times, 1,000 times. So
and they're all inside the classroom.
they are, and there are other people who aren't in my particular situation. Let's say, oh, dude, you're in Florida. I'm in California. Yeah, but in the classroom, many people in many other locations doing many other things. So it's good to be in there, not just needing me. Asking questions and going through your thing in the forum is actually even better than speaking to me because you get all this other feedback from really experienced, intelligent people in other locations doing different things. You know, a woman, a man, I'm a plumber. Hey, I do that. I'm talking all walks of life and stuff like that. So I have found that it's better for people, less money to me, but also less of my time one-on-one, but it actually is a better outcome, which is the only thing I care about.
Right.
A better outcome for you by doing it this way and having
for all of us. Yeah.
It is. It's better for not just him, but for everyone to be able to have the body of knowledge and just any time, 24/7, you have it. There you go. And you have me too.
Yep. Q in house says, Jack, so regardless of what you do for work, as long as it's 1099, both trust can be tax-free of all income as deposited into the trust.
Do you want to keep talking over there, Jim? Yeah, I mean, this is even more your head. Yes. This is yes. Oh my God, yes. Let me just unravel the pieces of paper for a second, okay? When you say 1099, it initiates. Oh, hey, you want to work here? Oh, yeah, I want to work there. Okay, we do 1099. Okay, fine. But really, what happens is they give you a piece of paper that says W-9 at the top of it. Fill in the information, just like in the forum I was talking about, right? In the coursework, fill it in, put your trust in it, first and last name trust. Great. Here you go. Okay, you're working with us now. So annually, right? Okay, we took a W-9, whatever business. They don't determine whether you gave them something that, hey, you're taxable or not. No. A W-9, you give it to them. They just fill out a 1099 and they send it to whoever filled out a W-9. You receive a 1099. Hey, great. Oh, okay, here it is. This is the earnings, blah, blah, blah. This is the financial details. Well, your trust doesn't pay the IRS, doesn't report. So it's in triplicate. whoever got the W-9, right? Oh, thanks for filling that out. We're the company. And now at the end of the year, so here are the 1099s. We'll keep one. It's in triplicate. We'll send one to the IRS and we'll send a 1099 to you. Okay. The company doesn't just sends one out to everyone. They don't differentiate it any way, shape, or form. They don't care. You have a trust person. They don't care. They just send it to you. You get it, and then oh, hey, my trust is on there. It isn't taxable. It doesn't report. I don't send this anywhere. Throw it away. It doesn't matter. Same with the IRS. They get it. Oh, they're not taxable. They don't report. We're not expecting nothing. So I'm just unraveling the 1099 throwout that you did so other people have a complete exact. I'm saying this all the time, but the more knowledge you have, even if I talk about the basics all the time, it's really important you have them. So that's just totally off your mind, Yeah. Totally not taxable. Isn't it great? I love it.
It is phenomenal.
Tim's like, oh, yeah, this is.
Dee Dee in the house. Sending roses.
Happy Dee Dee. Oh, that's the lady right there. Biggest supporter of this show. That's for sure. Financially, and she's been at the work from the beginning. So it's good to have. There's some people in here that are really, really superstars. It's incredible. Some of the people that
I'll take a look at this. You have to go into full detail on this one because Andy just sponsored the show with $2 donation there.
Whoa.
So here's Andy's question. Does the mortgage have to be paid off in order to enjoy tax-free land?
No, it does not. No, it's a great question. No. You could look up, first of all, it's on a whole bunch of lawyers. You Google this and be all this stuff pops up. Saint Germain Act. Okay, that's the piece of law that is the legal answer to why it's okay, because you're gonna change the deed over to ownership of a trust, which could then apply for real estate tax exemption. Okay, so it's got to change. I'm Christian. I got to change the deed over. Okay, but you're not negating that you don't owe the mortgage. You see it say it or something like that. You're going to keep paying the mortgage. It's not because you're going to change over with a quitclaim deed. A quitclaim deed doesn't. It's not like a warranty deed. It doesn't transfer. Okay, all the rights transferred over to the trust. No. You transfer over what rights you have. That's all it says. All the rights that can be transferred are transferred now. Well, okay, it still owes the mortgage, so that nothing happened there. So that's why it's allowed, because you could take advantage of a tax situation. Hey, great, I can change ownership without hitting the acceleration clause in your mortgage, right? Because you're not saying I'm not going to pay the mortgage. No, you keep paying the mortgage, no problem, right? It's still on the deed. You didn't do anything against that, right? Still low, no problem. Okay, so it didn't get out of that because it just transferred the rights that are there, and it can't transfer a right it doesn't have. The mortgage is still there. It can't be like, hey, nope. So that's why it works. It's legally okay to do that in America. You could look it up yourself and find out. That's a simple one. But a great question, Andy, and thanks for the support of the show. We got a donation. Whoa. Thank you, sir.
Yes. That was more than a $2 question. It was great. No, but he got his money's worth on that one.
He did.
It's good. TRT in the house says, do you have a video on putting property of home deed into the Liberty Aid Academy Trust?
We got a video. We got all the information for everything and the student forum and all the yes, absolutely. Of course. And I also recommend people that are really doing this actually get the membership on YouTube for a month. I really would. I have, stuff on there, plus a really recent one I just applied here in Florida to do it. And I put so much information in there. These videos on here of this membership, they're all on there already. So you just go on there and get They're great. They're more hyper up to date, and it's not me talking like this. It's just like, put this in this blank. This is why. Is how to. And people that have worked on real estate exemption watched it. It gave me all the thumbs up. They're really experienced people here, and I put a lot of work into it. I haven't worked on something that hard in a long time. Anyone that really is in any way do real estate tax exemptions, I absolutely recommend you really get in there and see that and some other work in there. But particularly that video, I really spent time and effort and work and on that, so you have the information like you're asking. Oh, hey, do you have that? Yeah, we got it. And I even got bonus stuff, like really detailed. Okay, good question. Thank you.
Zircon, I have actually purchased the Mastery bundle.
Oh, great.
Be in contact soon. Great.
Fantastic.
In the classroom.
Yeah, you asked the right questions, and you're obviously a great patriarch, care about your grandson. This is perfect for that kind of situation where there's already trust within the generations, because this is a trust, and it actually works on trust of each other. So if that exists, this is simply a super easy framework to handle, your family. It's wonderful. You're gonna love it. I look forward to working with you too.
All right. Well, we have just about 10 minutes left, and we're out of questions here. So if you do have any final questions, please jump in here, ask your question live. There's also a link in there if you wanted to jump in real quick and do it in person. Otherwise, put your question in the ticker there. You did mention the YouTube class, which is the link that's on the screen now. So if anybody wants to join that and get the most up-to-date financial information on credit, because you did that credit one most recently, and then of course you're updating the real estate version because you just did a purchase in Florida as well. So that's a great membership to get in on through the YouTube. And then that's about it for my commercials. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add for Black Fridays coming up. I see everybody's rushing the Christmas season and forgot about Thanksgiving and Black Friday. I see a lot of Christmas commercials already, but don't know what you have planned.
Yeah, keep an eye out, people. There's probably something coming down the pike. I'll finish up by getting into some real stuff here. First of all, this work is deep, and it has such a incredible spiritual component too, that it draws people to the truth, and just people become deeply involved with each other because they become trust. Oh, hey, I can trust them. They're not evil. Like, it's great to have a community like that. It's really incredible. It really is. People like Pamela Poe, Dee Dee, supporters of my work that go above and beyond, have a church that goes with this, that makes this work, that establishes this as a possible, Christian solution. It has to tie back into that, and it does, really. And the people that support me over there, because this is only one little piece of the truth here, and it's an important piece. Don't get me wrong. I'm an accountant. Start with money, make things better. Hey, I am practical. Absolutely. But also the spiritual information is super practical, as much as this is too. Not complicated, practical. So I just want to say, I don't want to get too emotional, but I want to say how much I appreciate the support that people have given to me. I've worked tirelessly for 50 years doing this, and I put this piece of real estate that I'm sitting in into the trust and done real estate tax exemption application recently. And they don't like my work because I haven't received a response. But I'm just saying, when I'm out there breaking new trail and trying to get us all these hacks and stuff like that, they know me. they don't exactly always make my progress easy. You know what I'm saying? They make it really hard for me. I'm glad your work is easy and so on, but I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here on a razor's edge, and the razors, they're trying to dull it. That's their job. Uh, but the support is real, and I don't. Usually, I talk about this on my Sunday show, but I also want to talk about it here this week too, because it's been really difficult doing some of this stuff that I'm doing because of this, getting this property and trying to do this, but really hard. But today I was able to put in a check and pay off the mortgage for this completely. This piece of real estate has
Wow.
no mortgage. So it didn't have much of a mortgage, and I had most of it anyway, but I got some help from some people and some donations. And I was in a catch 22 with the insurance in Florida. They would need me to cut down the trees and all this stuff. And the trees are amazing. That's why
Yeah.
the place is so great. And the insurance ran out. It was just a nightmare. So the the help that I got to be able to do that, thanks Amex for letting me load up your freaking credit. I'm like, okay, I got to pay off that stuff, but that's unsecured. You know what I mean? Like, uh, it was everyone's help and me service to all you people that, hey, this works. Over the years, I was able to make this happen finally. So, it's an emotional day where you get every last nickel you ever had drained and you don't have it anymore. Uh, oh my God.
But
And
now you have a house.
hey, Tammy, I was okay if I also pay it next week. I don't even have enough money. I hope maybe I do. Like, it's so, right at Christmas time when I want to give Tammy a $10 million bonus because she deserves it. I don't have it, but should I say, hey, could you wait till next week? I'm like, forget. No, so, but I wouldn't even be able to say this without people that have really been supportive. And I've done my best for you. You've had the outcomes and you've reciprocated, and I really appreciate it. So I'll be keeping everybody posted about this real estate tax exemption and all, what goes on. But this is kind of a big day. I put in the application before the mortgage was paid off, so that in this case, also it answers that question as well. So let's finish up. Tim's got to jump off this show real quick. Going to do this lightning round at the end here, whatever comes up. Anyone, okay?
There's just one here. Very good. Sylvia, the Acts, I love the Acts verse you said. My conviction was also Matthew 19:28. Court is threatening to garnish wages. Should I have done it long ago? Thank you for what you do.
Use the trust right now. You see what I'm saying? Sylvia, okay, maybe you're working a job and that's through your person, but you need this knowledge, right? And you need to get all your money so they can't get their hands on it. If it's in a trust, they can't touch any money in it, right? Because they only have jurisdiction over the person, which is like, we have it over you, but that's not you. That's your person. You see, you give it nothing and so on. If you're still working and using a regular job like that, they could garnish you stuff. It's not good, So you want to get into a situation where you're using the trust 1099, like was just asked. That uses your trust. If you have this knowledge, you could apply it, you see, and solve your situation. If you don't have it, you can never apply it and never solve it, you see. So, okay, well, I'm in this situation. I might get garnished. I can't just change my job. Yeah, but if you have the knowledge, you know what you're looking for, and honestly, with God's help, it's instantaneous. I had one of the first people ever get this trust was a young lady. And she said, "Oh, I heard your show. You could just switch over to God." She's like, "I quit my job that day. I went looking for a 1099 situation." And she's like, "The next day I had it." She worked at a medical place and like answered phones and did appointments and all that wonderful stuff they do that makes the whole business work, right? And she just went into another place to do 1099. She started the next place. She had a job in 24 hours. So I'm just saying, if you trust in God, like actually do it, the miracles are, applied. So Tib has to jump. This is great. Our shows are getting longer and longer, busier, busier. I got to talk faster, faster. But get here next Thursday. I can't help you if you can't get the trust, right? Zurkar got it. I can help him. You want to get on that list too, okay? And we'll see you next week, next Thursday. Thank you, Tim. Have a great show next week. See you next week, everyone.
See you. Have a great weekend, everybody.